So we're back. And so at this point, the robots are bragging about how they're gonna kill every single robot. In their best scenario, they're taken down by the robots, thinking about the humans, by water. Then turns out they actually didn't go down. What we call which was the big twist of that song, was the robots went down for 4 seconds. What a dumb, purely dumb song. This is all robot having a mental. This whole song, remember, is a mental breakdown a robot's having towards a human who's treated them badly. That entire song is just like a robot having a breakdown. It's kind of sweet to think about, just the robots and other humans are filmed basically like having a full-on fantasy, like, no, this is what's gonna happen because you don't respect me and I have feelings. And instead of just coming out and saying to the robot, they literally say all this, which is pretty adorable at times. This one's offered about the movie, the song, which I actually really like. This was a long time. And since then he's got his own TV show now. So in this one we get Vincent in for his cameo, and he plays James Gordon. I play Riddler, Alfred, Robin, and Batman. This basically the whole song came from my deep love of Alfred, and how I thought Alfred was such an important, integral part to the entire thing. How without Alfred you have no Batman. How Alfred is the most important character. How Alfred is really interesting, and Alfred has this great past where he's a spy, and he also was in the war, and now he's just the only linchpin stopping Bruce Wayne from collapsing. And Bruce acts like a father for Bruce Wayne's entire life, and after that has forced him to like take the risk and all in. Has forced Bruce Wayne to open up his heart more, and like how important he is and integral he is. The way like Robin is really essential to Batman, but he is sometimes not used in Batman stuff. But it's so rare that Alfred isn't used, or even when he's not used, like in Batman Beyond, there's still like such a deep like reference to him, and such like, and you can feel his absence, which I really like. So like it's pretty great. This and then part of it is just talking about how like good of a butler he is as well. Like he's the most badass butler in the world. And it's like the best thing Alfred does is being a butler. And there's Alfred the Butler the movie, the song. Alfred the Butler the movie, the song. Got stuck in my head for like 4 months. Was my own version was the Alfred the Butler the movie, the song. Alfred the Butler the movie, the song was in my head for years. Oh, this one was my love of the Walking Dead, so it's just me just singing The Walking Dead. This Emily's cameo. Tried to use a lot of Operation Cameo members, at least in one song. I think I just used two, so I'm not 100% sure if I used anyone else. Because Tom was always in this weird camper. Tom was like this part-time Operation Comedy member. He jumps in and out, but he was also very essential to so many of the videos. Nothing really to say about this song, so we'll talk about behind the scenes importance of Operation Comedy. Peter Hughes, one of my best friends in the world. He was like essential to Operation Comedy staying alive, because he talked about how like these videos and all. and was like really positive about them, and like was just very supportive over the insanity of these videos, and his support is the reason the channel hasn't actually died or I haven't given up on the channel, because I just get sad about it and not being popular. And Peter just often like talks about how great the channel is, or like how great a song or something is, and just so positive towards the channel that it kept it alive when it really would have died many a time over the years. John finds the positives in videos, and like, oh, there's some great shots in this. He's also, Peter and John would be two of the biggest behind the scenes people for why the channel's still around. That song I have nothing really to say about, it's fine. The Alien Communications song is a pretty fun, dumb song. They were called alien hunters, but also they weren't even hunting the alien, they were trying to communicate with the alien. And that was the whole thing. But then the best thing about it is like the background. Alien just looks so bad. But no one's looking at it. Like, one has a fake beard, which is obviously super fake on purpose. Like, nothing is addressed. My dogs are barking now. One big opportunity called me video, like, I'm sharing it. One big opportunity called me video were for back. My dogs weren't loudly barking in the background. So the whole idea of this song was the aliens are trying to communicate with the alien. They're trying to figure out what, if the alien's nice or evil, and if they have to hunt them or he's nice. I've wanted to make a version of this kind of, I'm going to make this into a short film actually in recent times, where I adapt this entire concept into a short film. I think this person's an alien, but it turns out they're really just not. No, they are an alien, but the idea is they're just very chill. They're just chatting. It was one way of doing it, but I would love to do a short film where it's like this whole time it's like this thing about one aliens, like, they think for the world, and also like a big government thing. It turns out it's just someone who's like role playing. I think this is like a RPG thing, and they're basically like a Dungeons and Dragons, like a Dungeons and Dragons player or something, and they think it's part of the game. So the whole time that they're like full on committing because they think it's part of the game they're playing. But yeah, so like I'd love to adapt that in a version of it at least into a short film. So this was a Jax in the Beanstalk, but the Jack in the Million was also the album was called, and the band was called. They were playing themselves trying to find this Beanstalk, but the big problem for this was that I played 5 characters instead of 4. I didn't realize at the time, but I also made myself the giant, so I was technically 5 people in the song rather than 4, which was a major problem considering if really one. I would love to adapt this again into a really weird, stupid, like Pee-wee Bigger Herman style adventure movie. So the joke here was that I mentioned my friend John. The joke's in here that the reason that they're screwed is because there was no one called John in the band, because they couldn't have made this song, so it wouldn't have worked if there was someone not called Jack in the band. They couldn't call themselves Jack and a Million, so they had to call themselves something else. So they blame someone else. That like the really meta joke for why they're blaming this. So I picked John because the name is near to Jack. So Jack John sounds very similar. So I'm gonna pick one of my friends. I picked John because that's very close to Jack. Is the real reason why. This one just gets really meta during it. Like they're talking about how like the Giant has a fan of the band, so they have their album on. They have the album on DVD. The joke also is like the album's not finished yet, so you can't have DVD. This one's got some meta stuff. This one would be like. Well, I think this one would work to be very like B movie budget. Like very low budgeted, very like green screened, very obviously purposely looking bad. Be really great. I think it would work really well because like most of it's just about them feeling to get up to the beanstalk and all. Then it turns into like that would be cool. Like concept would be like this group goes through all these like one second. So like the idea of this for villain would be that they're all like going through all these like fairy tales. Full stop like trying to figure out like something. Like they're trying to like get this like basically MacGuffin device assembled, and parts of it are hidden during these fairy tale stories. So, pretty cool concept that one inspired. This one starts with people insulting me, and then it goes back to my regular song concept, which is where I try and be really positive. I make this song that's just positive and upbeat, and it's pretty cool like idea that I can never actually fully accomplish in a way that actually sounds good, but it's always meant to be like this upbeat positive song that's inspiring and to like feel good, and like people are good, and generally speaking that you should like people are worthwhile, and the whole message of the song is meant to be just how like nice things are and how you should try hard. If you try, that's what matters most. And this is the third time I've basically made the same sort of song, and it still has never worked well. Maybe someday I'll make that song in a way that actually is good. So now we're on to the paintings, which I'm actually really proud of. Now this is a silent, so like made us like a basically throw back to the silent film era, but because I was a musician, because I'm a play musician, I sing over it, so you hear which are two ways you can watch it mute, and it's this complete silent movie, or you can listen to it with sound on, and instead of a silent movie, it's a music video basically style, where I'm like, this is the video for the song. So in retrospect, if I re-edited this, I'd probably remove this song stuff, but it still works. Like the song works pretty well, but it's very cool. It works. That's why I like with this one. It works both for, as like this song works. But the idea is that the person's literally describing word for word what's happening as well, so that it does work. And the song is actually not bad, but it also then works completely silent. It's like a silent movie, because this was like my throwback to the silent era, but with this like song in the background happening. So the song's like this narrator describing what's happening. I thought it was kind of funny. This song just describes literally what you see. Literally a second it happens. I thought it was kind of funny. This song would be like maybe this epic song, but it's just directly telling you everything that happens. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, this one is pretty fun, both muted and with the song. Because it was like I love this old slapstick humor. I'll make one video that's fully inspired by this. Because when they finally solved the problem, I love the realization that they were all upside down, but another problem is that it wasn't very clear, like in the video, so then I added the part where I sing it as well. I've also changed gender since I've made a live video, so I say he and Jack, so let's pretend that. So, if you're watching this, these are like these are really old videos. But I'm really proud of this one. This one is one of my favorite videos on the channel. I also got a second channel, Jess Native Spears, which is pretty fun. It's got more stuff like this, where it's just really good content, really like short film style. And this person leaves, and all the paintings fall again, and I just think that one's really, really well done. And that's one of the ones I can rewatch and not really look for flaws. I can see that one's actually really well done. This one's inspired by my friend told me they combine these 4 songs into one. And it just makes this like insane noise. What's really cool about this one is wherever you look is kind of where you hear better, which I really like. So if you look at the wedding theme, you hear the wedding theme most. It's like if in your brain it plays tricks on you to make you think that's the loudest one. So whatever you look at will generally be the one that it seems louder to you because you're looking in that general direction. So I play on that little concept where it's like your mind tricks you. And so me and my friend Emily had this person had this concept for me, and then me and Emily sat down and worked it out. So that's why it's a picture of us two in the middle there. This is a pretty fun little video. Just looking at that brain experiment of whatever one you look at is the one you'll hear best. So I really was a fan of this, and I thought this concept worked really well. Of course, it didn't have to be 2 minutes. It could be a lot shorter to reveal this does work, but I wanted to play this the whole songs. This one I really love. I don't know the words exactly. This one like more than another one. Watch the litter blow around the ground, throw the litter around. Then fight up, get up, you're picking up the litter. We're gonna lift the litter. They're running after the litter. Put the litter in someone else's bag. There is someone else's bag. Christian comedies, totally fake commercial. Totally fake. And this one is the first appearance of James Allen. He became one of my greatest video friends, and so the idea is that James Allen became like an essential part of the channel, and like James Allen became like the biggest collaborator really for me. So this is the first time James Allen ever appeared. And these like dumb sketches. Somewhere just audio, somewhere videos. So these were all these dumb, stupid sketches we had. And one of the jokes was James gonna kill himself, and I was like, "No, don't do it." Then I'm like, "Oh, it's my turn." Then I pretend to become a fireman, and I fall. It's like this one. So like, there's one sketch to show off my Joker voice, and he says, "I'm Batman." And the joke is then he defeats Batman just by saying no. And there's one just James saying Pikachu perfectly, so before that you could say it perfectly. This was 2 minutes of just saying stupid stuff. There's one joke where it was like Pikachu, Batman, and Joker all talking to each other. The main James had this joke where we fix the song, but just play it really, really fast, and it sounds terrible. I made this real fun of funny that the song just plays in its entirety, basically. And so for like a minute, you're waiting for it to be like, "Oh, this is a bad joke." And it stays on for so long, you're kind of like, "This joke is so stupid." It kind of becomes funny again because it stays on for such a long time. It gets funnier. Because of how much longer we keep doing it for. But also, we kind of find funny is we recorded it purposely in a room where you can hear other people talk over it, so it sounds even worse. Because in the background, you hear people talk over us singing this. We had this joke where I just think I'm the champion because James blinked. And James like, was second place. And we just keep saying words back to each other. So that one literally ended, and James was like, "I'm bored," and I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of boring." And then we have one where it's we have this really stupid 2 video series where it's just karaoke. So it's basically me hearing this, not be me listening to me singing a song, because it's very clear that I really wanted to become a singer. I called Force Cookie. It's just me singing by myself. This is Cleveland Forest.